Okay, I'm still marking the components on this board, and what I did is I had an old precision Phillips screwdriver, which is nice because it's got, it's a Phillips, it's got an X point, and these have X's on the board, on the template, so you can line up the crosshairs with the X's on the um, screwdriver, and you get a much better shot of hitting it dead center of where you want the screw to go. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just marking each of these. And this is probably the screwdriver I'm using is about a 8-inch diameter point, and the screws are considerably bigger, so this will definitely do the job and everything will be nice and tight. Not as critical on these here in the middle that you line them up perfectly, because they're by themselves floating anyway. They're not really in a line. These that are in a line, you want to spend a little more time, get the point exactly on that crosshair so you can keep them sort of in a nice neat line. It is craftsmanship, so you're not going to do exactly perfect. It's not meant to be a machine job. This is human job. Okay, so we got all of them marked, and what I want to do is a test with a couple of the screws and make sure we're not going to have any issues getting the screws in the holes that I just started before I pull the template off. So get these out of here. Get the staples out of there. Okay, let's dump a couple of these here. Alright, and these are the screws. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so it gives you an idea of the size of the screw, and these are the tabs. So the screw goes through. You notice they got like a built-in lock nut on them. So that's pretty cool. I'm not going to be putting the tabs on right now. I just want to start one or two of the little screws and see how they go. Let me get an appropriate screwdriver. That looks like the right one. Yep. And so you put it on there and you just start it out by putting a little pressure down. And since it's pine, you see it goes right in. No problem. Okay. But the first thing we got to do is drill these holes here. So I'm going to have to set up my drill and see where that goes. Let's take a look at that device. Okay, this is the heat shrink for this voltage regulator, and you see the pins stick down and they go right there. So we need to drill a hole for those using a drill bit that matches the diameter of that, and I'd say that's a 1/8 inch drill bit. So I'll find a drill bit for that, and we'll go ahead and drill those holes first, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I put a 1/16 inch drill in here, and my reason being I'd rather it be a little bit tight. I'm going to drill a hole. Now I didn't go all the way through. I'm going about halfway through the board, which is more than enough. If you're not familiar with using drills without you know, for depth without going through, you can always wrap a piece of tape at the dimension, the depth you want, and use that as a stop so you can know when to stop the bit. But I've felt pretty confident that this is okay. I've used a lot of power tools. Okay, let's see if that'll fit in there before we continue. I might have to make the holes a little bit bigger. No, I think that'll work. Okay, so and we got the mark here for this one here, which I'm going to mark it a little better. Don't look too great. Okay. They said this would come off easy. I probably should have not peeled it and stuck it to the board like that. Okay, so you don't want to take it to the board. You better use tape on the side because it really sticks. And take a while to clean the board off. And then I finish off. This is there. Remember, this is just fine, so you don't want to dig into it. Before you clean it, you're going to make a mark anyway. Just gently peel it off if you have to wet it. No, you don't have to wet it. Wake up the glue. You want to do it, huh? Okay. Right, cut my fingernails. The best tool I got, and every time I cut them, I can't do nothing with them. This is when I have them in some of my other videos, you see my fingernails for so long, I was complaining that I needed to cut them because they were getting too long. I cut them, and now the simplest things are no longer simple. But you get the idea. I'm going to have to go around and do this on all of these. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to work on setting in this device here. This is the first device, just to get an idea of what if it'll work with the holes I drilled, or do I need to do with the holes. My problem is I couldn't find my 8-inch drill, so I wanted to use that. And you put this over here, and you're supposed to use it. What did you do? They put the pins on the wrong side. Or maybe not, maybe that's what I want. Let me look at that. Yeah, that's what I want. That's really weird. Okay, so that's going to go like that, and it's going to phase in, I believe. Yeah, that's all. Alright, and the tab will phase in. So we can put that tab in. That's going to go here. And just doing a dry run here on this. Probably going to turn it out of the way, but I just want to get it in there. Okay. And this one gets bent up so that we can attach it here with the strip they provided. And it looks like it's going to go right there. Okay. So we'll move that out of the way for now. Okay, Paul here. I'm continuing to work on this. Excuse me, this battery eliminator. Took this off, took the board out, and gave it a coat of stain and a little bit of a gloss, not much. Just to protect the wood, because you know it was pine wood, and if it got wet or damp just from the air, it could mildew. So I went ahead and stained it to protect the board, top, bottom, sides, the whole thing. And so now I'm continuing to put these screws in, and I figured I'd just leave the camera running and do that, and we'll continue putting this together. I got all the paper off that was on there, and then I gave it a light sanding with my sander, and made it a little bit. I got the wood back to clean, and then I went ahead and stained it. So now I'm putting these in. If you do this, it's good to have a magnetic screwdriver. It helps. Those two sort of face each other. I'm using the document, which you can't see. It's off the side of the camera. I wanted to zoom in where you can see what I'm doing. You can probably see mostly my hands, but give you an idea. I move my hands away. And that's pretty much basically how this goes. And but I use a magnetic tip screwdriver because it helps to hold the screw while you're trying to get started, and those little holes we punch. Also, you got to hold the clips in a relative position where you want them while you're screwing down. So having a screwdriver that assists that is good. Okay. And so I'm just following this guideline. So this is what we just did. And I've already put the transformer, put these in, and we're just working this way around. And so that's where I'm at. These are just the opposite of these. So I put that on there and try to center it on the little indentation that we made in the previous part of the video, but they don't always stay, and they like to move around. So I would, suggest being aware of that as you're assembling one. The sticky finish on this wood helps. It's not fully cured yet, so it's kind of got a little bit of stickiness to it, and that helps these stay sorted in the right area while you're getting the screws started. And that's what we do. We just go around putting in all these screws. I have a screw gun. I could definitely be faster using a screw gun, but there's also the possibility of stripping out the holes in this wood. With, it's soft pine, so screws could easily strip out if you torque them down too hard. So doing it with a screwdriver prevents that, although I'm having second thoughts. I'm thinking about going to get my screw gun. There's a lot of these, but I'm about halfway done, so I guess it ain't too bad. After we get these screwed down, then we start doing the wiring, soldering wires and components. See why I wanted to do the transformer last, but I got around it.
This is the only wire in my way. So this is where the screw. Now the screw going to come in real handy, of course, like that. Okay, and then it goes straight out. Okay, now I'll get the wire out from under it. Okay, and then these three go here and they kind of point toward that one. Easy peasy. Basically what I do to tighten these is put it all the way down so the screw pushes it flat, and then give it about another quarter turn, just to start it up really good into the wood. I don't think they would move around, but you don't want to flop around because if they touch each other, they could be bad. So you want to make sure they stay snug and they're not going to move. Like that. It's pretty tight. I'm sure we'll be bending some of them up as we solder. And they just go in strange places, but there's a reason for it. This is where all the wires and all the devices fit properly. It hit, and then I go about a quarter turn, nice and snug and not move. A little time consuming. Building one of these, but it is what it is. The payoff is you get to build something, which is kind of fun, build something yourself, as opposed to just repairing something. And the other trade-off is you're saving the life of the device that will probably end up in a landfill because nobody will know how to use it when they can't get the batteries anymore. So that's always a big blessing because these technology was saving the DC powered devices like DC radios. Okay. Alright, and you have to be one of those angle points here. You want to get back down very good, down a little. Put that in there. Oh no, that's the way it goes. It looks like it's trying to put it in. These three kind of point together and these three here point together. These three I'm doing now kind of point toward each other. We work on this. Then we'll be coming in my own way. We need to go down board. It looks pretty cool. I'm quite impressed with the way it's working. Maybe art and craft working like when I used to do electronic projects. These are made for people who learn about electricity. Doing this and that. It's really neat. In case someone turns around and thinks about that side. Okay, we got this here. I'm assuming still. Move the camera there. Get it there. Close that one. There it goes. That shows it further away. I'll put this one. Before I started on hold here. That's a little bit. That's really attaching. Fine. Let's move that over. Yeah, let me stand up. A little long. That's it. That's enough. Good thing about it is DC. DC can't jump gaps. Not here, so we need to get the all together anyway. But it doesn't matter. Many stuff. They don't need to touch each other. Almost there. You give you extra clips, which is nice. So. So you do 3 extra clips, or you do 3 extra screws. So you don't have to worry about being short. And there we have it. And that takes care of that. Now, we do iron.
And this is the next step. Oh, the adjustable potentiometer goes here and another one there. And so that's why they're so close to each other. So basically we're going to bend these up and put the potentiometer in between them. See, they're easy to bend up however we need it. And then the other one was this one. Okay, and that's these potentiometers here, they'll connect to those three, and these three. And on doing this, it doesn't matter where you start. You want to start with the easiest components first. I would suggest that if you're making one of these, that you, which we will do, is put the wires on all of the connectors, like all three wires on the connector on this one, before you solder, so that you're not having to resolder. In fact, if you choose to, you could put all the components and wires in, and then come back and solder the components after. But you want to make sure that you get everything soldered if you take that approach. Personally, I'm not sure I like that idea because not just that you might forget soldering something, but also the wires or the components may get in your way, and trying to solder one, you may be moving others and knocking wires off and constantly having to refer to the diagram. So, you know, I would do them all in one shot. Like I said, those are the extra screws and clips. Nice that they give you more than you need. So you got those. If you mess one up, you got a replacement. Okay, so D2 and D1. That would be a good place to start. Actually, I'll probably do this section here and then turn the board around and do this section here. And definitely want to break the wires down to where they go. These go over here. The reds go here. So we could just pop them in the holes for now. Get the wires used to being bent that way. And they are primed, so that's a good thing. So that's where they're going to go. And yes, we'll start here. We got D1, 2, and 3, and I think they're all the same. So D1, D2, and D3. And they should all be the same. No, they're not all the same. Those two are the same. This one's different. So we got a VJ16, a VJ16, and a VH28. And diodes, bridge rectifiers. I don't see that one. Oh, there's 204L. I don't see that on here. Oh, one's a 400 volt. D1. D1. This one goes here. Oop. This one goes here. This one goes here. And this one goes here. Because we have two D2 and D3 are 100 volt 2 amp. D1 is 400 volt 2 amp. And if we look at the diagram, there's D1, and that's 400 volt. That would be this one, because it's different than these two, which are the same. 202. Yeah, see, these are 202 Ls, and that one's a 204 L, so you don't want to get them mixed up. And the 204 L would be 400 volts. So this is where they go. You want to put them in the same way that they need to go. They are polarized. You have a plus and a minus. So this one's going to go here. That one's going to go there. That one's going to go there. And that one's going to go over there. So. I'm going to turn these in just a little. Not much, because I don't want them to short, but I do want them to be able to bend the leads a little. Okay. Goes in the bottom one. Top, bottom. That's weird. How would they do that? Why? Okay. Like that. Yeah. And these leads. I'm going to go too. Okay, so then you just solder these focus. Now the wire goes on the top of the first one and the bottom of the last one along with the capacitor. So we're going to put that capacitor in, which is C4. And C4 is 4700 microfarad 16 volt. I think this big guy, 4700 microfarad 16 volt, and it goes this way, and it goes in here. And what I'm going to do is
goodness. Put a little piece of shrink wrap on him. And he goes over to here. Okay. Alrighty. Now this one, that just goes away is how we put it up there. Okay. On these semiconductor devices, you don't want to touch the terminal until the iron gets hot because you don't want to overheat the semiconductor device. A little tiny solder on the iron, and that's all you need. Just like that. Nice connection. And I'm using a 100-140 watt iron. Make sure the solder connects, flows around the loop, because you don't want cold solder joints. Okay, now this one is going to go to here, so this is going to be the positive, which will be a red wire. And it's going to come from there over to here. So that should be plenty right there. Yeah, that's pretty much what you do. You just go around soldering everything in place. And I'm probably going to do a lot of this off camera, and I'll show you the last ones because obviously you see how I'm doing it. And I'm going to be doing the same process on all these connections. And that's how it goes. You just can go behind that, take it down in there. This will get soldered and that lead will get cut. That's why I put that.
Go together. Okay, but one of them belonged over here. But that ain't gonna matter as long as I can get it in there. Okay, so I just need to recheck my wires. The green is going to go to the middle. Actually, that's wrong. See? This is what we got here. This diagram, this picture is wrong. That and that. Okay, let me pull this over here where you can see it. This is what we got. This is what they're showing. That's backwards. So we got to make sure we got the wires right when we do these. Now I have to go by this, which says that this negative line comes to the center tap of the resistor, where on this it would have been here and over to there. So this is the center tap, so that's not going to go there. And the positive, well, they're showing the positive going up to this one. Oh, I got that on the wrong one too. So that's what I mean. You got to keep checking your work. This is definitely wrong. And this goes here, which makes sense because that's the positive end of that capacitor. And that would be the filtering for the, what would be the B plus line. Okay, that goes there. This one, and if you go by that diagram, you'll be messed up. So it goes over here. A little bit hard to get in there and get all those loose ends. Yeah, good enough. Okay, so that goes there. This is going to go here. Now this is totally backwards from the way they're showing it here. And that's R9. There's R7 and R9, so we got to make sure we got the right one. They're probably the same. No, they're not. R7 is a 50K, R9 is a 1K. So we don't want that one. We want this other one, R7. There it is. This guy. And this is a 1K. And I probably should put my eyes on so I can see. Okay. It doesn't say, but I'm going to assume this. Oh, so there it does. 1K. Okay, so this one goes here. This is R9, 1K. So that's R9 right there. That's this guy. So he's going to go here to there. Right? So I'm going to bend this out. I'm going to hook these just a little. I'm going to hook that one the other way. Okay, you see how I did that? And that way those two will hook in there. And this one will hook in here. And right now I'm only going to solder this one, so it really don't matter if I get those in there yet or not. I need this one in. Okay, there we go. Try to bend the leads over. I know you can tack things, but you don't want to do that if you can avoid it, because there's a chance of them letting go. I know there's not a lot of room in these places, so if you go in one of these, be aware of that. But do the best you can to bend them over. And that goes with the B minus, the center tap. So I'm going to solder that there. Make sure you get the other ones away or they'll get tacked in there. Okay. There we go. I'm going to run this from here to here. Doesn't matter if I take these and put them here or put them there. That just the opposite end of the capacitor of the resistor, so it's the same thing. So I'll probably, well, they got to connect there. Maybe I will use the same side just for the length of the lead. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll come across here. So I can go ahead and solder that one in. I made this tip a little bit long because I didn't want the full wattage, so it's a little slower heating up. But it's a little tricky getting in there. There we go. It's a little slow heating up, but it does a good job. Okay, and this is in here like that. And we'll fold that over. Yeah, and that's nice, right like that. Nice to adjust. Okay, so for that one, we're going to do this R10 and this wire to the C terminal of C1. So that's going to be coming off that side of the capacitor. So this is the ground bias for this guy, who is, by the way, really loose in that goo. They didn't tighten that very well. Maybe from me tapping on it some, but I'll tighten it a little more later. Okay, so we're coming from here. This is going to be, it don't really matter what color wire I use there. I'll probably use a green since it's the bias for this. So we'll just run the green wire up there. They use the red wire for everything. I just as soon have some kind of distinction, at least somewhat, so you get an idea. When you go to hook up the batteries, if this is green and that's red, you pretty much know. I ordered black wire, but it hasn't come in yet, and I ran out. And the wire that has come in it's thin like this, and I just don't feel comfortable using it. Okay. This is a good gauge, probably 18 gauge it looks like, so it'll definitely make a very good connection mechanically as well as electrically. These are good. If you get a pair of those things, you can do a lot more with those than you can with straight long nose pliers. Sometimes you need a straight long nose pliers, but most of the time I can do a whole lot more with those. Yeah, I made I make the tips. I bent this one down and back up so that it'd have more resistance, and that way it doesn't get as hot. And I like that. I like to be in control of the soldering iron as much as possible, because I want to solder, but I also want to make sure that I make good solder connections without overheating devices. Okay, so that one also goes with a resistor, but I got room to get the resistor in a minute. This one goes to, you got to go into the first pin of this chip, IC1. So we're going to make sure that we got that right. It's a LM317T, and that is right here. Okay, so it really, that's the way it goes. I have to trust them. That goes to the A positive on the output side. And yes, this goes here, and it connects to ground here, A negative, connects to the center tap of the resistor we just put in, and the resistor connects to R10 goes to A plus, A plus. So this should have been red. And how are they showing it? Well, A plus is coming off the center one. So even this is, oh yeah, there it is. That goes there to the center, and that's A plus. So this is fine. And the green wire is fine. This is actually, the volt should have been red, but it doesn't matter. We'll come off here red and go to there. And then this goes back to there, which will also be red going to the third pin. So I'm just going to bend these down where I can get to them a little bit better. Oop, I got to tighten that. Look at how loose that is. I'll tighten it up more after I get it soldered, because I want to move it around. So we're going to put that there, and we're going to pull this one this way. Yeah. Be careful of those. If they break off, you have to solder to little wires. And this here, I'm going to try to do this trick. And if I can pull that off, it'll be a good connection. Let me see if I can find. What is that? Find something to spread them out a little. That'll be a much better connection than trying to wrap the wire around there. See? Much better. Mucho better. Okay, now, we're coming from there. We also want to go with R10, which comes from the same one, and goes to this, and then up to the second. So let's find R10. R10. Look at that sheet. Okay, I'm going to take this off. I'm tired of putting it back and forth. Okay, there's our power source. There's our layout, and there's our schematic. So R10 is a 220 half watt resistor. Down here, I'm going to dump it already. They're brown.
all the way around. Yeah, not even 4. And this one goes to the bottom, I believe. No, it doesn't really matter, it goes to the top, but it don't matter. It's gonna go like that. And keep it away from that. And then here. Yeah. Okay, so we can get started that in. Drop the flux. I'm glad to get out of this corner. Alright. Yep, good start. Okay, now we need red. And the red will come from the same one. No, that's the green, we did that. It's going to come from here to the center. And from here to A plus. So we'll bring it to A plus first. And we'll bring it right around that capacitor. Yeah. And down to there. And this is a 1.5 volt battery, a battery for the radio. There we go. You want to see that flow when you solder. If you don't see the solder flow, if it's a glob, you got a cold solder joint, you got to heat it again. Sometimes it'll not only take heat, but again, you have to clean it and reflux it and do it again. So be aware of that. I'm going to connect that one. Actually, I'm going to connect all three to the same one. It's just a connection point. It doesn't really matter. And this over there, and then we want to jump up to our focus radio. So that should be fine right there. And that goes near the center one. Maybe we can do this without burning the wire. In this case, I put more solder on the gun than I normally would because I got to get all those connected in one shot. Yeah, good job. Close it. And that's going to come up here. And I don't know if we can do the same approach we did last time. We're going to try it. Probably not on this wire, it's so thin. So I'll just wrap around it. Just hook it on it. Alright, so everything's started now. Okay, and here, we got a wire going there, and a wire coming here, we got one that goes to the center, the third pin of this, and it's red. So, let's just go from here up to here. Like so. And that'll complete this entire side of the board. The rest will be a whole lot easier, because we won't have this to fight next to, everything's right up against it. We'll do the top, and then we'll worry about the capacitor. See, there's this cold solder. A little bit of rubbing alcohol to get that out of there. It actually flowed a little, but it didn't flow good. So, okay, one more time. Much better. Now, that's it. It's already started on the top side, but I want to start the bottom down there. And then we'll put the lead. Alright. Take that out of there. And clean it up there some more. And then we'll put a little water right there. There we go. Yeah. Okay. This. Okay, and we check, make sure everything's soldered. Shrink wrap, done. That's tight, that's tight. I did hit the wire a little there, but it didn't hurt it. That's tight, that's good. That's good there. And this is all tight. Potentiometer's tight, these are tight, everything's good. This side's done. This is our A plus supply here. So we'll put
A plus. Now we got that. And that takes us to the rest of the board. So you see the process, you see how I did that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do these and get work that way on the C. This is the C line. Actually, no, this is B plus most likely. This is the B plus line. So this will feed all of these with B plus. And then this is the C line here, which we're not using on this radio, but we'll go ahead and connect it up so it'll be intact and all being there, all being used. And then if the radio ever dies, God forbid, and they get another radio that does have C, they'll still have a power supply that can be used for it. So I'm going to stop the video there. I think you get the idea, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So when I get the B side done, I'll show you what that looks like, and then we'll do the C side last. So thanks for watching. Be sure to give this a thumbs up if you find it interesting.